Tell us a little bit about what you experienced this past Saturday and, just give us a rundown.
Okay, so I was just, I was getting ready to run. I was in my zone. We do our warm up, and everybody kind of has their own little, routine when they run. Because it's all very mental. So we're lining up. They're checking us in, just like they always do, and for our uniforms, make sure everything's up to date or whatever. So one of the girls on my team was wearing shorts that had a stripe on the side. And the rest of the team was wearing just plain black shorts. So she, the official told her, you're violating the uniform. You need to go change your shorts to plain black ones. So she went over and she changed her shorts to plain black ones. And then, everything was good. And, in the back of my mind was, are they going to say something about my hijab or about my uniform? Because it is different. And that's something that's always been on my mind because I've played sports my whole life. In soccer, we always, they always do uniform checks, and it's always in the back of my head, are they going to say something about my hijab? And then they didn't. So I was so relieved, my heart was relieved, And then my coach and the officials were talking some more, and I was like, what's going on over there? And, but I didn't think much about it. But, the thoughts were in my head, maybe they're talking about me. No way they're still talking about her shorts, right? But then, my coach comes over, and the official says to my coach, don't tell her now, wait till after. So when he says that, I'm like, what are they talking about? And I'm very aware of my surroundings, what's happening around me. But, the race is going to start, and it's a very mental game, right? So I'm like, I need to focus on my race. I'm clearing my head. I'm going to run this race. So I get ready, the race starts, we run. And I run a great race. And, I get out, I don't think of anything. I'm giving all my teammates hugs, giving my mom a hug. And, I'm talking to my coach, and, we're having genuinely just a great day. And then we find out that we're going to regionals, and we're ecstatic, right? And then, so we go over to get recognized because we were third place in the race and in the meet. So then we go over, and then we all celebrate and stuff. And then we look at our times and our placings, and my name wasn't there with my school. So they had all the girls on their team in a row, and my name wasn't there. So I didn't think anything of it again, I was just like, man, it must be a mistake. Why isn't my name there? So then I walk over to the teammates that didn't run the race, and I was like, you guys, my name's not up there. And then they just looked at me blankly, and I was like, instead of being like they knew something that I didn't, and then they were like, well, you got disqualified. And I was like, for what, And they're like, because of your hijab. And my heart dropped. I felt like something horrible happened to me, something that I always thought could happen, but never has happened, And it happened. So it was it was shocking. I didn't expect it to happen, especially not in cross country, because it's a sport that, and the reason why I love running is because it's very logical. You run this time, you run here, and it's very simple like that, right? But I've always played a sport that was very political, soccer, right? It's very subjective, who's good at soccer, right? So running cross country was such a relieving thing for me, because it was I have this time, I know I'm good enough.
Yeah, and it's just you run, and that's what it
exactly,
says for you.
exactly. Yeah. So when I heard about that, I was like, there's no way, that doesn't make any sense. And I was in shock and in denial. And then immediately after, my dad called, and I'm sobbing to my dad. And honestly, I felt like a clown. I ran this race, and everybody knew that I got disqualified that was watching this race, except for me and everybody that was running with me. So, I finished this race, my teammates tell me that, and I'm like, what, And then, so I talked to my coach. He was he just explained to me what happened, about the waiver and all that, and we just talked it out with him. And then my mom came and picked me up, and she kind of saved me, because I couldn't be there anymore, and we were cheering on the boys team, and it became suffocating. I needed to let it out, my anger. I wasn't gonna yell at my coach, but I was angry, I was disappointed, I was embarrassed. I think I was mostly embarrassed, because I never expected it to happen.
And sports is a way to let out your frustration, you know, and that
Exactly.
was taken away from you. Do you feel that?
Yeah, I feel like I was disrespected by those officials because they didn't give me the same respect that they gave my other teammate and gave her a chance to fix her uniform violation, and they didn't give me a chance to even explain myself to them. You know, they went and told my coach instead of coming to tell me about what I need to fix. And you know, there's
So what did they tell your coach? Do you know before the race what they said?
no.
So you just
I don't.
just ran. And
I
you know,
just
I
ran.
happened to see the picture that you guys posted, and or your, I believe it was your cousin who posted it.
Yeah, she
And the
did.
hijab you're wearing is a sport one, from what I
Yes,
understand.
it is
It's
a Nike
designed
hijab.
for people like you. You know, I know that in the past, you know, did you always have something like that?
No. So I just started wearing the Nike hijab when it came out. I think it came out, I want to say 2 years ago. Yeah, so like right before the Olympics it came out, and we were so happy. We were like, finally, there's something. You know, it's always been different sports hijabs from different like hijab companies and stuff like that, but like the Nike one was so breathable and so amazing. Like, and you know, when it came out, that was like, it was a big deal for us hijabis to have something so big like Nike supporting us,
Yeah,
right?
so it's like it's a sport brand.
Exactly.
That's speaking to you. Yeah, I get
Exactly.
that. So in the past, you know, you've obviously, you know, you run track.
Mm-hmm.
You've run in a bunch of cross country meets at this point, and no one has ever said anything to you.
No one has ever said anything. And another, again, I felt like a clown because like, okay, I've been running all these meets, and I guess finally when I get to districts, you want to say something to me now?
No. Now, okay, so, you know, obviously, I you know, did sports through always say they're super picky. You know, they're like, if you have a bobby pin in,
Yeah.
you know, that is disqualified. But how does this situation? How is it different?
I think it's different because it's not like a matter of my safety, you know, and I don't have any my hijab definitely doesn't give me any advantage, right? And that's why rules are created to like for safety and to eliminate any advantages that could be a result of that, right? So like again, like I've played soccer my whole life, and I understand that if I were to be like checking in for soccer and they tell me that my hijab's like the Nike's an issue, then I have my FIFA approved hijab in my bag just in case, right?
So you have a backup.
Exactly, and that hijab, it rips open when somebody pulls from the back, so like you can avoid being choked, right? And that's a safety thing, and I understand that. But in cross country, I'm just running. It's not a contact sport. It's very, yeah.
Did they give you an exact reason of why you were disqualified? Just because you had a hijab on?
Yes,
That was the reason.
that is the reason.
Okay.
And then the letter again is something that bothers me so much because it's like you guys need a warning that I'm coming. You need to be aware that 30 minutes prior to the race that I will be at that race and I'll be running. It's like, why? Why do you need to be? You don't have to make any special accommodations to me. I'm running just like everybody else is running. And you know, you don't have to prepare anything in advance for me coming except for, I guess, yourself, you know? So.
I guess overall, this entire situation, how does it make you feel, and what would you like to see change?
This whole situation makes me feel, I guess, angry. Yeah, angry at what's happening, and what I'd like to see change is just the rules, or just like I just don't want this to happen to anybody else. Like any other girls younger than me that are wearing hijab that are going to start running. I don't want them to ever have to worry or to have to write a letter so they can go run. You know, so that's what I want to change. I just want to talk to OSHA, and I want to be like, you know, like I shouldn't have to write anything, and I should just be able to run.
Why is running with your hijab important to you?
Why is running my hijab important to me? Well, my hijab is a part of me. It's who I am, just like you run and you have blonde hair. So, and you know, it's a part of me, and I'm not gonna take it off so I can run, right? My hijab is more important to me than running is. So, that's why it's important to me, because it's a part of me. And if you're denying my hijab the race, then you're denying me the race.